Howdy, folks. Yo. What up, Rebel Jack? There we go. Had to restart it. It'll probably still fall under the same stream. Because, okay, good. Eli back. Heyo. Peasy Peasy's always on it, man. She's always like the first one in. First one in this biznatch. What's up, Rebel Jack? Peasy Peasy. Glad to have you guys here. Hope you guys are still here. Thought we would do a howdy again, Rebel Jack. Howdy again. Cutest. You are the cutest. What's up, La Crema? La Crema. I'm gonna put my number in here. Well, I'll put it in later. I'm ready to do it. I'm not ready to do it yet. We'll let this roll for a second longer. Leasy Peasy, why doesn't it show up that you're in my D Live? D Live's playing some funky games, man.
I'm not gonna respond to that. I already used too many words.
It says I'm online. You're there chatting. La Crema's online, but it doesn't show that you guys are in there. On my, there it does.
How could you even?
Maybe it just takes it a minute to catch up.
I was in charge of policy with you.
Maybe that's what it is. Daddy-O followed today. Daddy-O.
Told the government that
right, yeah, you guys are there. You guys are there.
Looking into the company
Good.
that my son was involved in, and he was getting paid $50,000 a year, and he didn't know jack diddly dick about this job. How could you
Weird.
think for a minute that was inappropriate?
having some
that I did anything wrong.
weirdness on it.
Even though I sat and I bragged about the fact I got this guy fired, and I told him I wasn't going to give him money.
Somebody's already giving me some love.
This is just such a dumb
Leasy
question.
Pieces screamed for some ice cream and she gave. Leasy Pieces is just donating because she wants to get it back later. I know how this works, Leasy Peasy. I know how this works with you. All right. Yeah, there she goes again. Probably it's right here. I didn't even look. Okay.
Follow the Bill of Rights. Follow the
Be
elected president.
Our state TV goes off.
Senator Kamala Harris said that if she is elected,
All right, so let's just jump right into this thing. 'Cause we're not going to do a real long stream tonight. I always say that, and then it ends up going longer. But this is Open Line Sunday. AMA, ask me anything. We're going to do this live. I did have an interesting little video. I think I'll cover that. I feel like it should be way bigger news, but it's not. Of course, it isn't. If you're new to the channel, go to sjgperspective.com, sjgperspective.com, and subscribe to me there. You can subscribe here to YouTube, but also make sure that you follow me on D Live. So let's jump over here to the, it's going to say meme time, even though we didn't do a meme time. I'm just going to jump right over here into the chat side of things and see what's going on there. So how's everybody's Sunday, man? We're about ready to start the new week, the new work week, man. Friday, Sundays are always kind of a bummer to me. Sunday nights, I'm just like, oh crap, got to go back to work. It's gonna be interesting in these coming weeks, man, to see how everything in our crazy world plays out. What is new and exciting over there in your guys' world here? I think I'll go back to this because we don't have a ton of chat. Well, yeah, I'll just read some chats out from here. Yep. Let me see here. Right, you guys are just because she's cheap. La Crema says, I hope everyone has their silver locked down. Yeah. This are you thinking? Do you say that La Crema? La Crema, because you think this next week's going to be crazy in the stock market? I think it might be. It could be. Didn't we close on a easy peasy, making it rain? How much did you just donate? Wasn't that like a big old fatty that you just donated? That's crazy. I don't even know where's that at. It didn't even show up on here. Yo, how's that for making it rain? Oh, interesting. Let's see what that was. I don't know how much that was that she just gave. but I feel like I haven't seen that emoji for a while. So she might have just dropped some big money in here. And by big money, it might have been a dime. Whoa! Leasy peasy. Wait a second. A Ninja Guinea? She just dropped a 10 spot up in here? How does that? That's amazing, man. I think that's what that is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, thank you, Leasy PC. I appreciate that. Very nice, man. Very, very nice. Now, don't expect I'm going to donate all of that back to the chat at the end of the night. I might. But I definitely appreciate it. That was very, very, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's an easy word. Generous of you. that word shouldn't have escaped me. Okay. Let's jump in here. This is just a really low key stream. I'm going to open up the lines here and let some people call in if they want to. Open line Sunday. Ask me anything. But here's a very interesting video that I don't know if you guys have seen or not. From Nightly News. Let me go over to here. Is that where it's going to be? Maybe I should go to this view. Yeah, I'll go to that view. And I just jumped right in. I could have had this prepped and I didn't, but sorry about that. Right there. There we go. Okay. And we'll make that big ski, dig ski. This one was actually posted on, I wanted to make sure this was new. So NBC News just posted this January 23rd, the 23rd. So this was like a week ago, right? A little over a week ago. Why is this not what is said in this interview? Why in the hell is this not more, bigger news is what I don't fully understand. It's like 2 minutes long. When we stick around for the part I really want you to hear, starts at, it's going to start at about 1:30. So let's watch this together. I'll stop it if I have any things to add, but let's just watch this together. 1:30 is where it gets very interesting, and I want to discuss a little bit. So we'll just start it.
Tonight, with fresh outbreaks and new fears, some Chinese cities are locking down. A massive quarantine center was built in days. In Beijing, huge lines for mass testing, and everywhere digital surveillance.
I need to scan to prove to the driver that I'm healthy, and that information also goes for contact tracing.
Okay, so if we think that this isn't coming here, what she just did, where they have to scan the app when they get in there, Biden just passed that everyone has to, well, not that, but one step closer with his executive order spree that he's been going on. F the Constitution, right? F congressional, congressional standards and legislative standards. We have executive orders now. We have this democrator, right? Dictatorship. We have a I can't say it. I'm picturing it in my head. Democracy crater. Basically, we have dictators. And we have a king now, and we're not even caring about the death by 1,000 cuts. We just nobody gives a shit about the Constitution much anymore. Those on the left scream how much they do, but then as soon as Biden comes into office, what is he doing? He's just locked up in his little White House room, the Oval Office, just signing executive orders like they're going out of style. He's making what Obama and Trump did look pretty mild in comparison. And I'm not giving Trump a pass either on how many executive orders he passed, right? But he's taken the whole Obama thing that he's got a phone and a pen to a whole nother level and just signing shit like crazy. One of the things he's signing that kind of ties into this is the mandate, right? The mask mandate on any kind of interstate travel. And companies are coming on board. I don't have the list of them right now, but you can look them up and see. Companies are starting to come on board, being A, that if you don't get it, they're not gonna hire you. You're not gonna be able to work there anymore. And then B, that you need to have it to do any kind of business with them, right? So the contact tracing, the China social credit score, the absolute lockdown and authoritarian big brother big leap forward is happening at breakneck speed. And if people want to call us conspiracy theorists that they did just recently, just months back, 6 months ago that we were these crazy tinfoil hat people that we said they're going to be the contact tracing is so that they can follow everyone, so that they can know exactly who and where we are. It has nothing to do with the old vid, right? It has everything to do with us getting it normalized and getting us used to the fact that we have to get in the back of a taxi and scan a barcode, right? Scan a barcode that tells the taxi driver we're okay to be in his taxi. We're going to have these social credit scores rolling out here shortly that tell us where and when, where we can go and when we can go there. This is all happening at democratorship. Thank you. Democratorship, not democracy. It's a mix between democracy and a dictatorship. It's a democratorship. See, it's easier when I can see it. When I'm trying to visualize it, quit laughing at me, Lacey PC. You're always just laughing. Just because I can't say something exactly right. She's laughing at me all the time. I'm scared for when they force me to get the shot so I can keep I'm right there with you, Lacrima, and it's coming. I'm sorry to tell you, that's coming. It's definitely coming. Anyways, this broad had to scan something in the back of a taxi in China, and China's the model. China's the model that that's coming our way real soon. The end of 2021, I'm talking months soon, is not going to look like the beginning of 2021, and it's not going to look like anything that we knew of at the end of 2019.
Worry, new COVID strains ahead of the Lunar New Year. The government now urging, even paying people to not travel. It comes as the virus had largely faded.
Paying people to not travel.
A year after the world's first lockdown in Wuhan. Back then, we scrambled to leave as the city fell silent. We've since returned to where life appears normal with morning swims and
new
packed
normal.
nightclubs.
The packed nightclubs with everyone with a mask on their face.
The virus relegated to China's version of history in a huge museum paying tribute to health workers and the country's leader, Xi Jinping. Yet in the shadows, there's also grief. Zhang Hai's father died of COVID before it had a name. He's trying to sue local officials. If I don't speak out, nothing will change, he says. A World Health Organization team is in Wuhan to explore the origin of the virus.
There's been a lot of blame being put around about this pandemic. It originated somewhere.
The first cluster of cases traced.
Here's the interesting thing when they say it originated somewhere. Yeah, well, here's the funny part. The story that they're telling us right now, that it came out of the wet market, that's still the official story. And then it came out in December of 2019, or November maybe of 2019. The funny part about that is that it was all over the world before that. That there is actual samples, there is actual on the record samples of this COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2. I hate it when people mix up the COVID-19 because COVID-19 is the disease that SARS-CoV-2 gives you. The SARS-CoV-2 virus gives you. They're two different things. So the SARS-CoV-2, right? That was around in Australia. It was around in Italy. It was around in Canada. It was around in many different spots of the world way before the time that we're told it officially came on the scene. But nobody talks about that. See, that's the narrative. That's the side of the news narrative we're not allowed to talk about.
To a market.
It still isn't clear whether the Huanan market was the source of the virus, though outside experts believe it was a starting point for the outbreak.
Where Chinese officials.
That was a nice step back right there. So you see, in the past, that's where it came from. Like we're 90% sure that's where it came from. Now it's constantly it's stepped back a little bit to where it's like, well, we don't know for sure that's exactly where it came from, but it definitely played a big part in the outbreak. But we're still saying that the official time it came out of was around this, November of 2019 in the Wuhan area of China. So they haven't came out clearly. I mean, it's the information and news is out there if you look for it, but it's not mainstream news. That's like, wait a minute, this virus has been tracked all over the world months before we officially came due in China.
Took samples over a year ago.
And why has the data not been shared?
Okay, let me back this up. Sorry. This is the part I want you to hear. Think about why this is not breaking everywhere, what I'm about to play you.
Oh.
And why has the data not been shared?
No, they didn't isolate the virus. That's the issue.
They didn't isolate the virus. That's the issue. Did you guys hear that? I mean, did you catch that? Let me back it up here so we can get what she's leaving.
Took samples over a year ago.
And why has the
They took samples over a year ago. That's what she just said. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I lead in and I'm not talking over it. Basically, they took samples over a year ago. And then this, why have we, I'll play it now. Sorry.
Where Chinese officials took samples over a year ago.
They took samples over a year ago.
and why has the data not been shared?
Why from a year ago when you took samples, why has this data not been shared? Is what she is saying and covering right now. Think about what this doctor is going to say in response to this. Think about how huge of a news it is and nobody's even talking about it. He's going to say it hasn't been isolated.
No, they didn't isolate the virus. That's the issue.
What about live animal samples?
It doesn't tell you anything. I do not suspect it's coming from what we originally thought.
China's government.
They didn't isolate the virus. This is what he is exactly saying, right? That animal samples don't tell us anything, and that the original story we've been being told is bullshit, essentially. But nobody wants to talk about it. We want to then have these fights and argues on whether or not face coverings are or aren't effective. The efficacies of face coverings. If we should or if we shouldn't wear them, right? We want to argue on hospitalizations, right? We want to argue on cases, how many cases there is out there, even though it's clearly been absolutely documented that the picker, the Paul Charlie Robert tests, the picker tests, are absolutely inaccurate. But we want to inflame people with the thought of, oh my God, there's this many hundreds of thousands of people that have caught it. We want to argue the fact that X amount of people have, kicked the bucket on the total death count. And meanwhile, we don't talk about what has happened with the flu count for the last year, the pneumonia count for the last year, the common cold count for the last year, the heart disease deaths, the cancer deaths, the diabetes deaths, the liver, the kidney, the lack of treatment that people just going into the hospital. What have all those deaths cost? Or cost? We don't talk about all of those. We lump in the first season and the second season. We lump in the whole year with our death total. Right? We don't take it like season per season like we did before. We want to argue about all of this stuff, and we want to point fingers from the left to the right and say, and I've watched these debates where people get in the minutia about debating these stupid points, and I'm like, time out, guys. Homeboy just told us that the virus hadn't even been isolated.
Animal samples.
It doesn't tell you anything. I do not suspect it's coming from what we originally thought.
Has the data not been shared? Why has the data not been shared? And why has the data not been shared? And why has the data not been shared?
No, they didn't isolate the virus. That's the issue. They didn't isolate the virus. No, they didn't isolate the virus. No, they didn't isolate the virus. No, they didn't isolate the virus.
One more time.
No, they didn't isolate the virus. That's the issue.
What about live animal samples?
It doesn't tell you anything. I do not suspect it's coming from what we originally thought.
China's.
They didn't isolate the virus. Animal samples tell us nothing, and I don't think the original story that we've been told is correct. Yet let's fight on all these other things. Let's ruin the world. Let's ruin and shut down the world when we haven't even isolated the virus. To me, I just thought that was a pretty important piece of information that seemingly got pretty much glazed over. Doesn't that seem like that should be a pretty big news that everyone should be paying some attention to? Don't think the death count is accurate. Any virus or motorcycle accident, cold, flu is lumped in. Exactly. You're exactly right. Maybe one more time. Someone get to the SARS puking version, wrap half onion on bottom foot. Other. What? I didn't get that. Someone get the SARS puking version, wrap a half an onion on bottom of foot. Other. I don't know. I thought maybe you should have said that with a Chinese accent. It didn't isolate as a virus. It didn't isolate as a virus. Yeah, right. Half on the table by head. I'm missing the story on that chat thread. I apologize for rereading those. All right, let's finish this. I can't remember what else.
The government is crafting its own narrative. A patriotic film premiering today that presents the city where the virus first emerged as the one that survived to defeat it. Janice Mackey.
That was interesting. That part there. Oh, that's very interesting. A patriotic film. There's a patriotic film being AKA propaganda.
That presents the city. A patriotic film premiering today that presents the city where the virus first emerged as the one that survived to defeat it. Janice Mackey Freyer, NBC News, Wuhan.
So, patriotic films, right? Patriotic films and get people bread and circus and get people distracted with all the propaganda that we like to throw at them. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing for a virus we haven't even isolated. I didn't say it either. That was the doctor in China, in Wuhan, right? Who went on the record with NBC a week ago. I don't know when I don't know when it was. This aired a week ago, right? This aired a week ago. Who knows when it was recorded, but I would assume relatively recently. But we want to argue about all the semantics and all the low-hanging fruit are surrounding this thing. Does that make any goddamn sense to anybody out here at all? Because sure shit don't make any sense to me. We haven't isolated the virus. Yeah. Yep. Fuck D-Live 7-Eleven. Why is that? Why you say fuck D-Live, brah? Shocker, China wins and always wins. Why is it that all the deadliest crap comes from Asian countries and no one wants to point it out? I think all the dangerous stuff comes from authoritarian governments, which we have in and of ourselves. I think that's where the dangerous crap really comes from. Yeah, they eat some pretty crazy shit over there. I'll give you that. But I just think they have stronger stomachs. I mean, ultimately. I think I don't think it's the dangerous stuff comes from third world countries necessarily as much as it comes from first world elitist rulers, essentially. I don't know if that makes sense, but sorry, I'm on tablet. The puking virus can be defeated by wrapping half an onion on the bottom of your foot and the other half placed on the table by your head. It kills that virus. Huh. I don't know. That seems a little bit medicine man-ish to me, but I'm not going to say it couldn't happen. Couldn't happen. All right, guys. Maybe you're right, man. Rules for thee, not for me. Absolutely right. 503-218. What is it? 503-218-3663. Does anybody want to call in? I'm only going to do it for about another 10 minutes, and I'm going to go in and watch a movie. I just thought I'd jump on. You know, you guys could ask some questions, and we could just hang out and do a quick little video. You know, something to get in front of you guys and chat with you. But if you guys want to call, you can call 503-218-3663. 503-218-3663. Yeah. While we're doing that, there was this was kind of interesting. While we're waiting for somebody to maybe call in, CNN Business posted this headline. This is a beaut. This is a beaut. Way to go, CNN. Let me go to this one. Maybe it's better here. I'm out of the way a little bit. It says white supremacist internet gamers buy GameStop stocks to purposefully bankrupt Jewish hedge fund on International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Is this an onion one or not? I mean, is that legit? I think it's legit. That's so funny. The shit they come up with. John Kerry says the Great Reset will happen with greater speed and greater intensity than a lot of people might imagine. They aren't even trying to hide it anymore. They're not even trying to hide it anymore, ever. Yeah, exactly, Janet. SARS, H1N1, now COVID. But my ADHD, I read that and I was like, oh, I missed that. John Kerry says the great reset will happen with greater speed and with greater intensity than a lot of people might even imagine, adding the Biden administration supports it fully. Well, of course the Biden administration supports it, because the Biden administration is Kerry, is all of these people over him and under him. Not Kerry, but over Biden and under Biden. Biden is just a hand holding the pen. He is the most empty-headed, empty-skulled, empty-suit president I think we've ever had. If you think that if you are still out there somewhere, I know my main people aren't, but if there's anybody out there legit thinks that this is actually happening, like he's really our president, I mean, he legitimately is making any calls for himself, come on. He is simply a suit in the Oval Office, signing whatever they put in front of him. He's probably not even reading. He's like, oh, what is this? Okay, sign it. Okay, got it. And what's the... Not paying any attention to anything. Just sign anyway. Just sign. Hey, we didn't pay you to think. We don't pay you to think. We pay you just to be there. You were better than Trump. People hated Trump so bad. He was the perfect president to get put in. Complete controllable puppet. John Kerry reveals Biden's devotion to radical Great Reset movement. In June, elites at an important international institute such as the World Economic Forum and the United Nations launched a far-reaching campaign to reset the global economy. The plan involves dramatically increasing the power of government through expansive new social programs like the Green New Deal, and using vast regulatory schemes and government programs to coerce corporations into supporting left-wing causes. The two justifications for the proposal, which has been aptly named by its supporters the Great Reset, are the COVID-19 pandemic, the short-term justification, and the so-called climate crisis caused by global warming. Both of those, obviously, as we look at that and we think about that, those are both of the two things that are being pushed with great ferocity right now, is obviously the vid and the climate change. Those are the two things that are pushing and moving everything along. I found something else interesting, pretty funny. Was that it? No, let me see here. Oh, maybe I moved it. It's so interesting how, I don't have it up right now, but is it right here? Nope, that's not it. Okay. Essentially, it was a picture of, it was a meme that I had up of Nancy Pelosi buying a bunch of stock in Tesla. And then I think it was a day or two later that Trump or Biden signs the executive order having the whole federal government be under electric vehicles. It's like, what kind of, we're losing our shit over GameStop and saying, market manipulation and whatnot. But then Nancy Pelosi can buy how much fucking stock in Elon Musk's, in Tesla, right? And then a couple days later, Biden can write an executive order saying the whole federal government is going to use electric vehicles. There was no insight. It was just a lucky call on her behalf. Come on. Give me a break, man. Give me a break. Give me a big old break, brah. I don't know if I can share this one on here. So I think what I will do is I will do it anyways. But I will do it we'll just read it. It says, doctors around the world issue a dire warning. Do not get the... low-hid, it rhymes with low-hid taxine. Low-hid taxine. Do not get the low-hid taxine. And I'm not saying this. Doctors across the world are saying this. Okay? Okay? All right? Okay? That's like Pesci. Okay? All right. Let's read this real quick. I think it's a fairly... Oh, yeah. It's a great little... Okay, cool. Yeah. I think it's a short article. Perfect. Short article. We'll read it. What do you think? All right. We'll do it. In an effort to combat big Parma, corporate media, and the Tig-Lek censorship. Rhymes with Tig-Lek. I'm going to do some rhyming tonight, and hopefully I don't just pull a rhyme off the top of my head that is considered politically incorrect. The Lig-Tech censorship. Doctors around the world are frantically trying to warn the masses of the devastating effects of the experimental Lovid vaccine about to be a mass injected into the unsuspecting public assisted by military force around the world. When was this written, by the way? When was this written? Doesn't really, okay, it's not on there. Great. What could possibly motivate these doctors, nurses, scientists, and other health professionals to make such an impassioned plea? What do they have to gain by taking the time to educate the public on the hidden dangers of a new class of vaccine about to be inflicted upon the citizens of the country and around the world? They have nothing to gain and much to lose, including their careers and possibly even their lives. So why are they doing this? Why are these doctors and professionals being censored so much if the new low-vid vaccines are in fact so safe and effective? What is it that the media and the government are hiding that they don't want the public to know? They are doing this because they are doctors and scientists who actually understand the real science here and who know the devastating potential consequences of those who choose to get the very toxic and dangerous vaccine. And they're trying to save as many people as possible from the carnage this vaccine is going to cause, which will include, but not limited to, death, which is pretty bad. Okay? I don't think you can get any worse side effects than the old D word. Brain injuries, a lifelong autoimmune disease, infertility, and more. So true. Please watch this video and their urgent pleas, and then share it with as many people as you can because it's time. Time is short. So is this on the old... Maybe it's not. Maybe it is YouTube? No, maybe it isn't.
My name is Andrew Kaufman.
Okay. This might get me kicked in the nards. From our... Oh, it's from the BitChute. So yeah, this probably is not technically allowed here.
I'm a medical doctor and board-certified forensic psychiatrist.
Doctor and...
This pandemic is not a...
I'm tempted on this one. I really want to play it, but this will be bad news, probably. I really want to play it. You know what's so sad about what we're going through right now on this? Is that there's going to be a bunch of these guys talking to legit doctors that are not allowed to share their legit medical opinion. Think about that. They're not allowed to share their medical opinion. We live in a world, and I know this is no welcome to the party, Steve. Welcome to the party. Well, obviously, I've been at the party, but we get numb to it at times. If you really think about how insane it is that you can have Dr. A say X, Y, and Z about this, and he has all his reasons why. And then you have another doctor, and he's on the pro side. And then you have a doctor on the con side who, you know, attributes through credentials, through schooling, through, you know, everything. Then the letters after their name, all the same. Totally legit doctor, totally legit scientist, totally legit doctors. But the one on this side that's in the con side or the pro, however you're looking at it, if his argument doesn't match up with what the main accepted, controlled, pre-approved narrative says, we are not allowed to hear it. So just subscribe to SJG Perspective. I have a bad feeling about playing this right now, but I don't care. I kind of don't care. I'll always be on D Live, and you can always find me over in SJG, but whatever.
Real medical pandemic. The COVID-19 vaccine is not proven safe.
I'm going to do this a little bit just to break up the algorithm.
Safe or effective because there's not been enough time. In addition, there is not a clear definition of any new disease for which it can be tested against. There has not been a virus that has been purified or shown to be the cause of an illness. Thus, there is no target for a vaccine. However, the bottom line is that since no additional deaths have occurred in relation to a new disease, there is simply no need for a new vaccine.
Hi, my name is Hilde Smet. I'm a Belgian medical doctor, and I'd like to say that the new COVID-19 vaccine is not safe, and that there is no global medical pandemic. For almost 20 years, the pharmaceutical industry has been trying to develop corona vaccines.
Tens of thousands of medical professionals suing and calling for an end to the COVID tyranny. There's literally thousands. I'm wrestling right now because I'm not ready to give up my YouTube channel. I'm not quite ready to give up my YouTube channel. You know? But I also feel like a puss for not playing this. But I want to try to pull some more people off of it. And literally, this is probably going to get me another big time trouble. And it's just doctors. You know, you're just listening to what doctors have to say. Doctors! Fact checkers on YouTube. These are doctors. These are doctors.
Never managed because they saw in the animal trials that there were serious side effects, autoimmune disorders, when the animal was exposed to a new wild-type virus. These autoimmune disorders are comparable with the complications we have seen in some COVID-19 patients. Now, due to the excuse of a global pandemic, the pharma industry has the permission to skip the animal trials. This means that we humans will be the guinea pigs, and we might get severe side effects.
Yeah.
When we are exposed to new viruses.
My name is Nils.
Okay, this is a 28-minute video that I don't just want to blast through. I am actually going to do one on this. We'll do that. And I'll post this up. If you guys want to watch this, here is the link to this. And I say we share it everywhere we can. There's a link. I have I think I'm going to wrap back up here, though, in a second. Because, like I said, this was just going to be a shorter stream. I wanted to say hello, trying to stay consistent. Getting quite a few people in here, which is cool. Between all the different channels, between Twitch and Trovo and Facebook and Periscope and DLive. That's good. Got like 10, running about 10 on YouTube right now, 4 or 5 on DLive. That's pretty small, but it's my peeps over there. And I think I got somebody really, okay, and anybody who's got a DLive account, you might want to hop on over there because I'm going to throw, whoa, that's the most, I think that's damn near some of the closest I've ever had, guys, on my my deal. So I'm going to give some of this back to you guys. Okay? For some reason, that's all I'm allowed to add right now. That's all it's letting me add. So, I want to say thank you to Lisi PC and La Crema, for donating. Big shout out to you guys. I appreciate it very much. Anybody who's over on the YouTube, you should maybe jump over the DLive. You got 17 seconds to do so. If you haven't, please go to the Play Store or Apple iStore and download the DLive app and then install it on your phone and create an account and look for sjgperspective.com and follow me. Let's see what we got here. La Crema gets La Crema. I always feel like I should roll my R on that. I don't know if I should or not. But La Crema just got 332. And Lisi PC got 191. And hey, big shout out to Check Your NWO, just followed. Glad to have you here. Appreciate it. Stay a while. And I feel like that put me over to 298. Okay, I don't think that's updated yet, though. I really appreciate it, though. Thank you so much, Check Your NWO. That's right, Lisi Peasy. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you both so much for hanging out. D Live's so much fun. So much more fun, man. We're going to start doing some just strictly D Live chats too. Or D Live streams. And when I'm doing that, I will put you at $2.99. Puts me at $2.99. Hey, you're right. I thought you were going to be the 300th. I will start putting out ads on D Live. I mean on YouTube, not ads, but quick videos that tell you when I'm going live. So anybody who's on YouTube, you'll know I'm going to be live over on D Live, and that way you can come over there. But I think we'll do an all D Live stream the next one. I'd like to cover that article or that video. So I think we'll do an all D Live stream next time. Look at that, man. Now I'm pumping some people in that are, this is great. See, if you got the YouTuber people that are, I think, are leaving YouTube going over to D Live. That's where we need to be, is on D Live, guys. D Live is the place to be. D Live. YouTube sucks. And not in a good way. Not in a good way. I think we all know what I mean. Little pervy right there. But oh, look at that. We got our 300th. Shout out to Kim Arch. Just follow. Glad to have you here. Stay a while. Congratulations. Yes. That's you're awesome, Kim. It's I can't tell what that emoji is down there. Oh, that's a heart. Okay, there. I couldn't see it on the other one. It looked like there was like a thong over a owl's head when it's little tiny on my thing, but it's not. It wasn't weird like that. I didn't mean to make it that way. Lacey, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Kim. I appreciate it. And for the New World, check your New World. And then also Lacrima and Lacey PC and everybody else that's out there in D Live world that's paying attention right now. Really super glad to have you. See, now we're starting to crank up some people over here on the D Live world. And right when I was about ready to call it a night too and go in. And now I got like 12 people over there. Son of a bitch. And then that's probably annoying, huh, to just see indefinitely. I didn't mean to leave it on that either. My bad. Okay. But I do want to have it on this so it shows up. I have the notifications. All right. If you guys got a new news. Myanmar military says it takes charge of country for 1 year, declaring state of emergency over alleged what? This is breaking. Myanmar military says it takes charge of country for 1 year, declaring state of emergency over alleged election fraud. Oh, wow. See, now this, maybe Q got it wrong, guys. Maybe what Q was talking about was Myanmar. The military state was going to take over for 1 year in Myanmar. But I bet you what happens with this, I bet you money what the Q-tards are going to say on this. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't say Q-tards. Because there might still be some people that believe in that and are buying into that. And maybe I just lost the 2 new subs that followed me over on D-Live. I apologize. The people that have been sucked up in this PSYOP, this Q PSYOP, what they're going to say is like, look, it's happening in Myanmar. It's going to happen here in March. We're almost there. It's happening in March here. Right? It started in Myanmar. It's going to happen in March here. I bet you that's what's they're gonna play off of this somehow. But maybe they just got mistaken, and they thought Donald Trump was actually going to be initial, to initiate martial law and the Insurrection Act, and really what they meant to say was Myanmar military or Myanmar was going to do it. Maybe that's what the deal is. Who knows? Who knows? Well, I made it up to my 300 sub mark. That's great. 100 more to go to my goal. And you know what's better than even that, guys? You know what's really better than that? Is the fact that I have done like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Did I do it on Thursday? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today's Sunday. 3 or 4 in a row. That's like a new record for me in consistency. And that's what we're just going to try to do. We're just going to try to keep it going. I just got another follow too. Wow. Jeez, I'm on a hot follow roll right now. Do I really want to? I don't know. Q challenged. Maybe. Yeah, Q challenge instead of Q target. It's the Q challenged. Well, guys, this was just a spur of the moment stream tonight. Didn't have it all planned out. We're gonna be doing our we're gonna start kicking off our Wagging the Moondoggy series probably this next week, and that's gonna be a fun series for anybody who's out there that's just as joined. Please don't leave when I tell you this. We're gonna be doing a series on whether or not we went to the moon, and it's gonna be fun. We're gonna cover some really interesting information surrounding it. And if you think we went, great. Come and take a listen and make fun of me in the chat. I personally don't think we did, but I want you to come and make fun of me if you think we did. But it's gonna be a good time, and we're gonna tie it into overarching psyops and psychological operations and disinformation campaigns that are affecting us still today. So that's how we're going to tie it in. Something that happened back in the 60s that some people don't even really care about anymore, and how that still affects us today. So that's no moon. Seriously. I don't know, but I doubt it. I doubt it too. Sweet. Lisa PC stoked about that. Thank you guys so much. So different than the tubes. So different than the tubes. Too much evidence says no. Yes, exactly right, M. Woods. There's too much evidence that says no. You're right. I totally agree with you. I don't know what it means by the tubes. Somebody says space. There we go. Lacrima did it. Wasn't it? Hang time on a second here. Lacrima, weren't you the one that started them being Ewoks yesterday? They were Ewoks yesterday, and now they're interdenominational space elves. Interdenominational or dimensional? Because interdenominational would mean that it's like a whole bunch of different church elves that are getting together, right? Elves from different churches, interdenominational or interdimensional space elves. Is that what you meant to say? Okay, there we go. That makes more sense. Because I thought you were saying that it was a whole bunch of like different space elves from different churches, different denominations that were getting together. But interdimensional ties in a little better with what you were trying to say. So I get it. Church elves. Woo! That's funny. Okay, good. All right. Well, you guys, this has been cool. This has been fun. I didn't even expect to have that many people hanging out tonight. We'll do again tomorrow, whether or not I have something totally planned out or not. I'll just jump on for a little while tomorrow and have some fun hanging out with you guys. So that's about it. Don't forget to subscribe to sjgperspective.com. sjgperspective.com. Make sure you get over there and sign up for my website. That way you always know where I'm at, because YouTube's coming for me. They're going to do a little nad chopping here pretty soon. They're taking my nad sacks and they're putting them on a jar or shelf in a jar on the shelf in whatever section of YouTube they do for busting people's balls and basically canceling people. This is an easier way to say that. Until next time, it's SJG Perspective. I appreciate all of you. And to all of you interdenominational space elves out there, without fear or animus, you guys have a great night. See you later. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.